And with that, folks, here we are at the formation lap start of the Holland Nuke Prix. We now know all the tires that they are starting on. Maple on soft, Sousa on hards. That could be interesting, folks, because we had it earlier in the warm-up. That hards could lead to a one-stop strategy. Thank you so much for all the excitement here in chat already. Hawthorne Heights, never heard of that, sorry. And yes, here we go, folks. They are warming up the tires and brakes before they go back into the starting position. So this is just merely to warm up the tires, the brakes, getting the temps up, seeing if everything works at the car before we have a standing start to the race. And then it's officially on. But those are the tires right here. So everyone who starts on mediums could potentially go for a one-stop. But I think mediums might be the wisest one to check on that if you're interested in a one-stop strategy. However, with this track, it also could be beneficial to just go super aggressive with your soft tires and then later change to mediums. But we will see how the teams will play it today in that regard. They're now coming into that very long bank turn towards the start-finish line. It's a very, very good lookout for Nuke Cola today, just by starting positions, but also for Chrysler's Corvega. But then in the end, let's see what really happens in this regard, as Maple is making their way to that very front spot. Alright, the lights are going on, and when they go out, the Nuke Prix of Holland is on the way! Here we are, folks. Very bad start by Jesse K. Kin. Absolutely horrendous. And through goes Strakovic. Third to first right away. Straight in without any gentle foreplay. Straight in. What an amazing start by Strakovic. Well played by the Yugoslav, and Keyline Maple was not able to hold him up for the teammate, as I was about to now see if they will do it or not, because that could have been a strategy for Nuke Cola to use Keyline Maple as a little wingman for Jesse K. Kin. But that didn't play out well if that was the original plan here. And now, back goes Maple, cannot do that. On the outside goes the Voltec of Frank. 3 cars wide into that chicane. Absolutely marvelous. Looking real good. And now they go into that banked turn towards the start-finish line for the first lap. It's a very short lap, as we already have discussed this. But there we go. Now goes through the blue car Voltec, and he's in the lead. There we go. Coming back at it again. Twig Frog, the American, back on P1 here. But that doesn't have to mean much. He retired two races in a row being in the front. So let's just see how this one will turn out in that regard. This is like playing marbles, but more complicated. It is. I like that comparison there, folks. Yeah, even the Voltec fans refuse to get excited so far, but let's see how this will turn out. The big update that Voltec promised to their cars will be something to be seen, as we see now Frog having to defend himself from Keyline Maple. There's a little gap forming between those two and Strakovic there on P3. He's going a bit slower right now, but he had an absolutely great start. And now, side by side, it's blue versus red. This is not SWAT, folks. This is not a SWAT team match. This is the Formula 1. Don't worry. We are still in the Formula 1, but it's blue versus red right there. Looking very interesting. And now, with the slipstream, Maple does not attempt to overtake yet. Maybe waiting for the braking zone, but no. Still not. Interesting tactic, as we see Strakovic dropping down the order. They're down to P8. Even behind his own teammate of Snellesdotter. Interesting what we are seeing there evolving in that regard. That is odd, as we have Frog, Maple, Garricus, and then the first red rocket of Toshi. Souza dropped down a little bit back to his teammate of Matt Mini, who got a few positions up. And then the two Robcos. That's what the current leaderboard looks like. Yes, I wonder if maybe something happened to the car of Strakovic. Maybe we missed something. If you lost something from the front wing or something, because he had a very good start in first lap. Just from the lap times, he also set the fastest lap for the very first one. So that is a bit odd, but we'll have a look at it. I mean, there's so much that can happen during a Nuke Prix. We've seen that before, and then people were coming back at it again because of how great that slipstream works. And there we go, Maple using that very thing into the first on the straight into that first corner, and also keeping the lead with that. Nuke-Cola is back at it in the lead with Key Lime Maple. Under threat from the blue car of Twit Frog, who's trying to get back at it now on the outside line there, and it works through that curvy section. It's very hard to overtake there, and he actually made it. Very great maneuver by the American, who's battling his friend here from Canada. Those two actually had good terms. We've seen that off track, that they are not having so much beef, really being on the same side of things. So maybe that's why also Maple wasn't attacking in the first place there. But let's see how that will evolve further, because when it comes to the racetrack, the friendship may end. They're going side by side through, but everything looking good. There's still a good gap between them. They keep it steady, they keep it clean, very friendly. And now, no, that was a bit cheeky, that move, but you never know. With the gravity in that corner, you can see it there, how banked it is. Maybe that was playing a little role to why Maple was a bit sliding into there. But no worries, everything was working fine, and Frog is back into P1 again. Garrick is the second Voltic on P3, directly followed by Fujio Toshi down there on P4. And they are so close together that you don't know what happens. And now, marvelous! Maple does the move that Frog did just the lap prior and cannot make it work. Fantastic defense by Voltec here, trying to pull the very same move. Very cheeky, a little copycat, and it didn't work though. Frog most likely was smiling under his helmet about that. And be like, no, don't you worry, I just pulled that myself. I know how to defend from that one. And now side by side again, and no, it's not working yet. He was trying to use that gap, but yeah, he'd closed it early enough. And Maple now has to really see the rear of the car of the Voltec here. And it's still a very tense battle, because those two, they are holding each other up. Is now Garricus is coming through on the outside line, past both of them. Garricus going through on the straight line on the outside to avoid any collision. Absolute fantastic move. And whatever happened to Strakovic, look at this. Strakovic down in P14. He dropped further down like an atom bomb. Whatever happened to Strakovic, he had a fantastic start at first lap, and suddenly his pace was lacking massively. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the news that something is wrong at his car, because that is very unusual to see from Strakovic, who always has been so super good on track so far. And now the two Voltecs are battling for P1 again. Let's hope that they will keep it clean, because in Lombardia they did not, and they held up each other so much that they in the end did not win that race, and of course lost a lot of points on the board. But now it's the two blue cars, and now trying to oh my god, when I already see that shuffling back and forth, and through goes Key Lime Maple! The two Voltecs battling each other again on the cost of their own benefit, and through goes one of the Nuke Colas, using that opportunity of those two. You cannot make this up. Frog and Garricus, the two ever arguing teammates, once again. They came together in Lombardia prior to this one in a very unsportsmanlike behavior, and now they're doing it again. At least nobody collided so far. That's the benefit, but let's see how well this will play out for Voltec today, because I am worried. As now the red rocket of Fujitoshi tries to attack. This is now those four cars are battling right now for the lead. Two Voltecs, one red rocket, and one Yuki-Cola are battling for the lead right now. 7 laps in. And there we go now. Oh my goodness! Goodness gracious! I'm always scared when I see something like that happen. That was a very close call, but those drivers are like superhumans. The way they caught that without causing a collision, and yeah, now Maple drops back due to that. That was foreseeable though. Maple now down in P4, but it's of course far from being over. We're only in lap 8, folks. There's still so many laps to go, 72 in count, as we have a rather short lap. And now the two Voltecs are battling each other again. Will they battle, or will they try to utilize each other's slipstream to get away from the rest of the field? That is the question now, because they did not do that latter action in Lombardia, and it was costly for Voltec. As now, I lost a bit of track. I think it's Garrikis right now who we are focused on. Yes. So it is Frog who went past here, but that one was at least safe. They kept it safe in that regard, but I think that they really should rather gamble on Garrikis than Frog, due to the fact that Frog lost already 2 Nuke Prix. As through goes Garrikis, and this time they keep it safe. And now we see Frog trying to defend that position from Toshi, so that Toshi cannot go through. We saw that in the Tarzan block, the very first corner there, but it didn't work out. Toshi is through, now hunting down Garrikis. Let's see how that one will turn out. And now back goes Frog again on the... There we go, he pulls the move that he did on Killer Maple earlier, but it's not working out yet. He sadly has to draw back because Toshi is smarter than that. As Garrikis is leading the race right now. Yeah, that's the smart move for Voltec. We had Frog already 2 times in the first 2 Nuke Prix having to retire. It's definitely smarter to give Garrikis the path and the way to go, and use Frog more like a wingman to assist in that. That should be the strategy of Voltec. As we have the full field again. Strakovic still, oh my god, so far down on P14. Whatever happened to the Yugoslav? I hope we will get a word from Robco Racing what happened. As, oh! I don't know if you saw that in the background, but the Red Rocket and the Nuke Cola, they came almost together there. That was a very, very close one. Killer Maple was almost ending up in the wall there. That was intense. But everything looking fine so far, as we have Garrick is still leading the race, and Frog being the one who's trying to chase them down. Now after 10 laps, we have a gap forming slowly. Let's see if that Voltec update to the car really has helped them to develop some more pace also during the race. And that rhymes, and you know how it is, all the things that rhyme are good things, they say. As we now have here the focus on Fujio Toshi. And now he gets sandwiched by Maple and Frog. Luckily nothing happened, but that could have been an easy front wing gun for Frog. But everything worked out okay. But yeah, losing your front wing is never nice. If you lose the nose, that's literally pointless. You don't want that to happen in such an attack. And now sandwich again, but there's way more space, and it works out for Frog, who's now trying to keep the position from Maple. It's a close one. Maple coming back at it again for P2. Let's see how we'll be in that turn 3. And they are still close together. This is not over yet. And now Toshi is trying to attempt to attack both of them. Very bold move by the Japanese driver, but it's not working out. He has to draw back, and there he goes. But that was a very bold move, very courageous. We've seen this before, that Fujio Toshi really dares to attack Harley. Yes, 72 laps. You can see that at the top left. That's the total amount. It's around 1.5 hours always in those races. So if you want to have a rough estimation of how long a Nuke Prix is. And so far, both Nuke Prix that we had so far, both in Texas and also in Lombardia, were still 72 laps long. During the 1.5 hours long, completely intense. Really to the line. In Texas, it was a real photo finish, as we have here. Oh, Maple around the outside. Absolutely marvelous. Those three giving us really a tough battle to watch. And I feel like Frog is intentionally and deliberately trying to hold them up for Garrikis. I think like they really are going the tactic that was just talking about, playing a wingman there, so that they can finally score some points on the board. That's how it seemed to me right now. Because Frog was going way slower than Garrikis out of a sudden. And now really doing his absolute best to hold the field up. There we go. That was Garrikis briefly in the picture there. So finally, Voltec has understood what they have to do. The learning curve is no longer a learning plateau, as we have now a sandwich of 3, and it doesn't work for them. There we go. And now side by side, Nuka-Cola versus Red Rocket in that bank turn. Let's see how Toshi attempted on the inside line. Oh my god. That wobbling was dangerous. I don't know how Killer Maple was able to catch their car, but that was very dangerous. They're shuffling already on the main straight as if this was a game of poker. And they are dealing the cards. And now Frog is down again on P4. But let's see how we'll re-overtake, because so far this has been a back and forth between all of them throughout. I forgot totally to open my bevy here on the sideline. This is how intense it has been, that I totally forgot to open my own drink. You should get yourself something to drink as well, folks, because we will sit here for a while as we watch this battle further. Okay. Frog is smart enough to draw back again. He knows already, okay, if we try to go 3 cars wide, it's not gonna work out. We've seen it the laps before, and he's smart enough to go back, but you can see how he desperately tries to re-overtake. This is the mission right now of Voltec, getting points on the board that they lost. And now on the main straight, 3 cars wide, and it looks pretty good for Frog on the inside line. Going past 2 cars and holding them up again. Very greatly done by Voltec with that strategy, as Garrikis is further building up that gap further and further and further. Frog really going low lap times here, as his teammate is flying in the front there. Let's hope that this will not turn into a very dull battle. Let's hope that this will not be like a finish of like 30 seconds plus if this continues, because oh, we have yellow flags. Oh. There has been a major incident in Sector 2. It seems to involve both arc jets. I see both of them standing. One of them has a tire loose. Was that a collision between teammates? And we have a safety car as well. Not surprised. Now we have the replay. Stoparovsky out of the race because of an engine malfunction. And what happened? Snellistotter sliding on the green and taking out. No way. No way! Both arc jets just after signing that deal out of this race, and now people are coming into the pits, and it's a total chaos at the Voltec box. They were not prepared for this. They were not nobody was prepared for that one. And now he stands and stands and stands, and Fruck losing a lot of time on his teammate there. Same goes for Chrysler's Kavega there, as we just saw that one. Absolute chaos unfolding right now on the track after this one. We have to see some more replays of that one, because that was a very, very unfortunate incident. Super unfortunate for ArcJet. They should not go gambling today, because I'm afraid that fortune has ghosted them with not returning from getting cigarettes. So there we have it. That's Snally's daughter of Rupka Racing. Doing a free freestyler on the ground. Oh, yeah. Free freestyler and bang. There you go. Oh my goodness. What an, unfortunate action for ArcJet just after signing a deal with Sugar Bombs prior to this. It was a bomb indeed, but the sugar turned into salt. There we go. Oh, this is so painful to watch. Both ArcJets out of the, there we go, Soliora. Yeah, and that front wing nose is broken. Absolute pointless, literally, and my goodness. My goodness. What an absolute unfortunate action for ArcJet there. Both ArcJets out now. What a heartbreak for that team from Boston. So what basically happened, you saw that now yourself. So Stoparevsky had a smoking up engine trying to retire, but having cars left and right, not knowing how to actually pull aside, and Snally's daughter didn't see that properly, I think, because of the smoke, ending up in the grass, and once you touch the grass, yeah, you're out of control there. You're just an innocent bystander. At least in racing, if you want to touch grass, that's up to you, but in racing, that's not too smart to do. And now that results the entire fuel, of course, because that, of course, has now really altered the strategies for everyone. We have Garricus leading the race, Maple on P2, and Snally's daughter, despite that spin on P3, but she hasn't joined the pit line. She started on mediums, still is on mediums. I think she will attempt a one-stop strategy, maybe, as the safety car is going out again. And that means that once the blue car of Garricus has crossed the line, the start-finish line, the race is on again. And we'll have a close look of how things unfold. Danzig on P4 in the home race here. Toshi on 5, Fruck on 6. And then the first Chrysler's Kavega of Matt Mini on P7. Alright, with that set, now they begin to speed up again on the straight. And our yellow flag is done and the race is on again. Here we go, folks. That strategy of Vortec sadly didn't work out due to the safety car. So we had Fruck trying to clean the space for Garricus right here. This driver right there, dude, always when we have the onboards, they are so loud it's very hard to talk over them. Those engines are loud, let me tell you. Yeah, trying to clean the space for Garricus. And now that strategy was all for nothing, because Garricus comes now under threat from that Nuke color of Key Lime Maple again. It is blue versus red again. That safety car really changed the strategy for everyone. Key Lime Maple attacking on the outside line, and it works, but he's not passed yet. This could still get up. Let's see. It is, yeah, it is typical Voltec luck indeed. It is absolutely crazy. And now Key Lime Maple is leading, but let's see what happens on the main straight. On the inside line goes Garricus again. And it's working out. Ah! Yeah, Maple tried to use that gap. And oh! Garricus did bad in that corner. He was braking way too less. He was going a white line there. We saw that. He was making a little mistake in the braking zone there, offering an open door for Maple, who was trying to get through, and this is where they came together briefly. But luckily nothing happened. I hope that the suspensions don't have a damage from that, because sometimes a suspension can get a damage from just the slightest touch like that without you noticing. But it seems everything is fine there. Very often you cannot really see suspension damage in that regard as well, so that is a thing. And there we go. Apollo Garricus for Voltec leading the race in front of Maple. And there's a gap forming right now between Maple and Toshi. So it seems like they're really oh, look at this gap already. This is quite vast. And now Maple attacking on the main straight. Let's see if that one will work out. On through the outside. There we go. What a defense from Garricus! Amazing! Absolutely amazing! On the outside line in that corner. That is so hard to manage in that one. And he did fantastic on that one. Amazing move by Garricus in that regard. Absolutely fantastic. So this is what the order is right now. My goodness. What an intense race already. 19 laps in. And we already had quite the drama here with the two Arctics retiring after that crash there. A safety car that changed the strategies, and now we have a battle between Nuke Cola, who are leading the championship, trying to keep that lead as Voltec, with that upgrade to the car, is attacking very hard today. And now on the main straight, Garricus goes again, trying to keep the lead and battling for it. He's really battling for it. He's committed to it. Garricus, the only one who scored points so far for Voltec. Well, okay, that's not entirely fair. Fruck did score 1 point with a podium position, with a pole position. With a podium position. He retired 2 times so far. And it seems like Fruck is back in P3 indeed. Yes, you saw that correctly, chat. He absolutely is. So both Voltecs with that engine update really doing well here today. As they are coming... Look at that! Look at that! They are coming all together now again. It will be a full battle. Just like we see before the safety car. The exact 4 drivers. Toshi, Fruck, Garricus and Maple battling for the lead again as Maple is trying to get through now. On the inside line, it's not working out yet, and now on the outside line of that bank turn, let's see if that will work for Nuke Cola to maintain the lead. It does not. Trying to get some slipstream, and now through goes Twig Fruck. Fruck now leading the race of the Nuke Prix of Holland, shutting the door a little bit, but everything was okay here. At least it didn't come together this time around, because the two Voltecs, they did not do so well in Lombardia with that when they were battling each other. Let's hope that they will keep it clean today. And now we have a different race leader once again, 21 laps, and it's once again another Nuke Prix in which we are absolutely unable to tell who will win this race today. Third Nuke Prix of the season, and for the 3rd time, we are quite a lot of laps in, and we do not know who will win this race because it looks so uncertain. That's exactly how we like to see racing nowadays, folks. Unpredictable to this regard, as we have the Rupkos of Strakovic and Snellesdotter being very far down. Strakovic on P11, he crawled up a little bit at least again. Whatever happens, he was leading the race in the first lap. Starting 3rd to 1st, boom, straight in, fastest lap as well in the first turn, in the first lap, and then suddenly drop in heavily in the lap times. And Snellesdotter on P15. As we now have a battle, I lost track a little bit. I think that's Garricus on the inside line there. As Maple is going on the outside line and makes it work as well. Well done. Well done by the Canadian, who's now getting under pressure again by the two blue cars of Voltac. And we are still having a lot of laps to go, so don't worry, this is of course not the final decision here. We have so much to go still. That will be quite a thing. Was there some yellow flags back there, or am I tripping? I thought I saw yellow flags. I might be wrong though. As we see now the 4 car, so... Oh no, there is! There we go! There are yellow flags. There we go. That's not a replay. That Nuka-Cola really is that slow. That's not a slow-mo well, it is technically a replay, but not a slow-mo replay. And you don't have to be a nuclear physicist to see that Jesse Kaikin will not continue this race. The championship leader is out of this race. One might say that this is soda pressing. You got it because of Nuka-Cola. And now that is very good though for Strakovic, because Strakovic was dropping back very fast. Strakovic and Jesse Kaikin are the two who are battling for the championship lead. One of them is out of the race, the other one very far back out of the top 10. So at least they're not losing that much if it stays that way. As Kilo Maple is now the sole Nuka-Cola. The whole pressure, the whole responsibility lies on those small shoulders here. As we have yellow flags yet again. What is going on today? This is the race of the yellow flags. You can clearly say that. It is the race of the yellow flags, but now we go again. Whatever was going on there, I don't know, but here we go. All right. Fruk, Garrikis, Kilo Maple, and Fujio Toshi. Those are your top 4 right now. As we have the 2 Vortex now battling for the lead, and now through... And oh my god, what a move by Kilo Maple out of the nowhere! On the inside line. Fruk goes wide, but still can catch it. But that was... Dude, how fast was Maple on the main straight? And we have yellow flags again. Dude, whatever is going on with the yellow flags today, we're really waving them today a lot. Oh, I see Matt Mini. Matt Mini faces the wrong way. And we do not mean that politically. He's literally standing the wrong way around the racetrack in the Tarzan box. The first turn, maybe he wanted to play Tarzan, I don't know. But we'll have a look at that surely, as we have a safety car yet again. 2 safety cars within 24 laps. There's the replay. What happened? What has happened? And there's the spin. Oh, luckily nothing further happened. Yeah, that's not how you get the Drift King title, but what happened? It's very hard to tell from that angle, but don't worry, we'll cover that. We'll not do news coverage like the commies. We'll give you all the perspectives to the scene as soon as we can. We just briefly want to check how the pit strategies look like, because we have enough time behind the safety car to review that in more detail. As, yeah, Garrikis, I think that is. Yeah, coming into the pits, trying to adapt the strategy to that safety car there. And he's pulling on soft tires again. So they're going a real aggressive strategy here today. So that's the second soft compound, as they are now behind the safety car. Let's have a look at the replays, hopefully very soon, about what exactly happened. It seemed like he applied too much throttle indeed. There we go. On board now with Matt Min. Oh! It almost looked like he got hit, but it's very hard to tell here. And then he stands the wrong way around, not knowing how to get out of the situation. There's Sharina Shotdashvili now. Of Rat. Yeah, okay. All on his own accord. All on his own accord. And there we stand then. Too much throttle applied. And this is how he's spun around. Not like a racket. More like a car. Yeah, that donut did not work the proper way. Donuts, that's where you have the pink cars of Slocum's Joe for. Alright, and the safety car is not going out just yet. We are still behind the safety car for yet another lap. Very good for those who want to adapt their strategy to it, because the benefit of a safety car is that the whole field comes back together again. So that's a very, very good point to make a pit stop, because you always spend like 20 to 30 seconds in the pit line. So that is a thing. As we have Toshi and Shotashvili on P3 and 4, so very, very promising for Red Rocket today. And Strakovic on P14, Snellisdotter on Plum last. Oh my god, it is an absolute black weekend for Robco there, but even more black for ArcJet after that collision there. It's as black as the inside of your eyelids for ArcJet. Just signing a new sponsorship deal with Sugar Bombs. And it said it was a bomb indeed, but the sugar turned into salt to die for them. Not a very good weekend. They did so well in Lombardia. The small team from Boston that really does well on aerodynamics. It could have been their race to die. This is a very aerodynamic track. It could have been their race to die. They had a good pace as well. And then that absolute catastrophe.
Hello there.
Welcome in, Noma. Nice to see you. Now the safety car lights are out. That means the safety car is coming in this lap. Truck is dictating the pace until the start-finish line. And that's then where the race is on again, folks. Look at this, like a string with pearls. We're going through those corners. Truck going extremely slow here. Trying most likely to get rid of the rest of the field there. It's always very tactical, that reset of the safety car. Let's see if this will work out. The yellow flags are away again. Green flag, race is on again, but that tactic didn't work. We see that they all are still very, very, very close to Frog there. But now, Maple is to defend, and this is what actually helps Frog right now. Maple having to defend from Toshi, and this gives Frog the exact momentum that he needs to get away from it. Lap 27 out of 72. Let's see how that engine update for Voltec will work out today. The gap has formed due to the defense, and there we go. The Red Rocket of Toshi is past Key Lime Maple. That means that Red Rocket has their star driver on P2. There you have it. There he is. Defending himself against numerous cars. There we go. Through goes Souza as well on the inside line. Amanda Souza, who already scored a podium in the first race in Texas, very keen to get one today here as well. As we have a battle between 4 different cars here for P2. Between Fujio Toshi, Key Lime Maple, Amanda Souza, and Apollo Garikis. On board with Maple here briefly. Trying to catch up there. And try to defend himself from that chromatic car of Chrysler's Corvega. And it's looking pretty good, folks. Ah, look at this. This is the battle for P2. You gotta love it when the cars are so close together, but after that safety car... That was very unnerving to see. How they all, like 4 cars coming together there, but they kept it clean. Absolute outstanding skill there by those drivers there. And now on the main straight, 4 cars wide, you gotta be kidding me. There we go, they now have to resort it. There's shuffling going on like on a poker table, let me tell you folks. This is absolutely outstanding. outstanding battle 4P2 between people. I can't even talk anymore. I give up. I give up. It's just too exciting to watch here when you have that many. And now we see it back there. Who's getting involved there? Did I see this correctly? It seems to be James Hartley of Mass Fusion, who's now coming close to that. Yeah, it is. It is James Hartley from Mass Fusion catching up to that battle 4P2 as well. All those cars you see right there, except for the leading car there. Those are all battling 4P2 right now. This is how close it is there. As Souza goes in the inside line there. Now they're battling each other as Frock can go, Garricus can go again, hunting down his teammate Twig Frock. They are technically battling right now for P3. Oh, that was a very close one. And now, but it works out. Everything's safe, folks. Everything's safe. There we go. So the two Vortex are still leading the race. Luckily, nothing happened to them with the bad luck that they were having so far. And now Maple on P3. All of these cars you see right here. Hartley on P6. Outstanding performance for Mass Fusion. They're also the two Poseidons. Look at that. Macolina and Renard in the top 10. It seems like they resolved their issues after that double DNF in Lombardia. Both cars out of Lombardia due to engine malfunctions. Both were smoking up. They were basically playing Thomas the Tank Engine and having to retire from that race. But now it looks pretty good for the two cars in yellow. As we have here a very intense battle for P3 between Toshi, Maple, Souza and Hartley. They lost a lot of time on Garricus, who can freely and safely now hunt down his teammate. There it is, there you go. That was too close again. The two teammates once again battling each other on a behavior which could be dangerous. There was a rapid movement there. But it worked for Garricus, who's now taking the lead of the race, if I saw that correctly. Apollo Garricus back in the lead from his teammate, who's now re-attacking. No, he's not, okay. Oh my god, but this is unnerving to watch. They're literally like two little brothers who are not liking each other, who are constantly picking on each other. But unlike real brothers, there are no parents on the track to separate them before they cause harm to each other. So that is a very intense battle here between the two teammates who are not at good terms. One might ask themselves if that is an experiment by Voltec, as now... Okay, no, they are keeping it clean so far. It's looking way better and way more well-behaved than the Lombardia here upon the Intervault rivalry. Vault 76 was Vault 101. Well, they have the driver numbers as Vault numbers on their cars. The 18 and the... Keeping it clean and pristine, it works. Frock back in the lead from his teammate Apollo Garricus. At least they are keeping it clean today. It seems like they had serious talks behind the scenes with the team principal of Dr. Stanislaus Braun, and it seems that everything has been settled, at least in that regard. That they know where the exact border is, that they don't take out each other. Just imagine the drama if those two would take out each other today here with that lead that they are getting right now. In each other's slipstream while the others are battling heavily for P3 and losing a lot of time right now. This could be not so much a photo finish today, but that's okay. We had a photo finish in the other two races. There always will be one race where you don't have it. So if that happens today, I think we're thankful because that highlight recap of Lombardy was 25 minutes. That's how much has happened in Lombardy. We already had quite a few actions today. But let's hope that we are getting a bit more structure in here today right now. There we go. And they're changing positions again. They're changing positions. Back and forth. As if they're trying to figure out who should lead the team right now. As the battle for P3 is still going on between the old four of Souza, Harley, Toshi and Maple. All right. So after a quick sip from the drink in lap 33, we are watching that battle closely. We are also watching the weather closely. Remember, it was to be expected to rain earlier, but we didn't see one single drop. The weather is clearing up a little bit right now, but there could be rain towards the end of the race. With 2 safety cars that we have right now, it's very likely to happen. Depends on how the clouds will behave. It also could just move on and not rain like it was at the start of the race here, because that could change a lot in the course of the race as well, depending on when it rains, where on the track everyone is. That could bring the field together, because Voltec right now, they are constantly making up the pace right now. They are dominating right now. They are now, if I see this correctly, almost 20 seconds in the... Oh! That was a close call there. I didn't like how close they came together there with the tires on the side pod there. That could have been a very nasty one. But everything looking okay. So it's about 20 seconds of a gap right now for Voltec. So they are doing a fantastic job. That engine update they brought here for this week is really... Oh my god. I thought he's rear-ending his teammate, but everything fine. The brakes are working, we can confirm that now. But that battle, at least they keep it civilized right now, folks. We have to appreciate this. The learning curve at Voltec is quite high. Look at this, leaving enough space for each other, keeping it civilized. Very good for Voltec in that regard. Let's see how long that lasts, though. We've seen it in the prior 2 Nuke Prix. Oh my god. Every time they come close together like that, it's unnerving. It is truly unnerving. But it looks like they finally have at least a bit more sense in their battles now. It's still tense, don't get me wrong. It can still happen, but at least they are keeping it civilized now. The question now is, of course, the tire strategy. If maybe a one-stop strategy like Sousa and Snellesdotter are trying to do apparently is better than the full attack here. And now side by side. Yeah, that works. Giving enough way. Doing an experiment on race announces stress level. Thank you, chat. Maybe that's actually the fact. Oh boy, oh boy. There we go, mind stride. Oh, there we go. Now with the pit stop strategy, here we go. Here we have Twig Frog coming into the pits for another set. It's very hard to tell, is that soft, so is it mediums? Let me look at the data, let me open the data. Yeah, that's... I couldn't see it correctly, it's very hard as a colorblind person. Looks like softs, yes. It is soft tires, thank you for helping out here. The thing is, I see it very small. You people may see it in full screen. I see it as a very small window here as well, with everything else going on in the track here. But it is soft tires indeed on the car of Twig Frog. And now Garrett Kiss is the sole leader of the race, with Snellesdotter back in P2, making that strategy work. Very well done. Let's see how that will turn out for Robco. And Toshi on P3. I don't know how... Well, where did Snellesdotter come from? Wasn't she like plumb last at some point? I guess the safety car helped out with getting back into the lead there. Is now Garrikis is the leader of the race with 35 seconds in the lead, folks. Holy dingus, one might say. That is a very, 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 very big gap here. We've not seen this one here upon. Very commanding and dictating performance by Voltec. There we go, that's Snellesdotter. That's how far the distance is to P2. It's like halfway the lap, basically. And that is Sousa battling against Toshi, trying to defend position for P3 here. The biggest gap we've seen so far was 10 seconds, and that was in the final lap. 10.5 seconds by Strakovic in Lombardia. But for the rest, it was very close. Let's see how it will be today. I mean, the race is still very long. We could still get some rain later. So everything is still open in that regard. And then let's not forget that any minute a car can smoke up and having to retire. That's another thing. I mean, with Voltek's luck hereupon, I wouldn't be too surprised if Garricus then has to retire because of an engine malfunction. That would be so Voltek, let's face it. But now, Twig Frog attacking those two, getting held up here. So that strategy didn't work out well for the American, who's now going on the inside lane. But he's making it work. There we go, for the Tarzan board. He's keeping it steady. And is past those two now. Hunting down Snellisdotter for position number 2. So Snellisdotter of Rupko will be the next one on his list there to re-overtake. So he can be in the lead maybe. But I'm pretty sure Voltek will more likely give it to Garricus so that Garricus can catch up in the driver standings. If I look at it now, so in theory, if Garricus wins the race and Fujio Toshi finishes P3, it would be 1 point difference. So Toshi would be the leader of the championship standings with 74, and Garricus would be second with 73, separating them just 1 point. This is how close it would be if Fujio Toshi manages to get P3 and Garricus drives through on P1. That would be the standing. So we came into this weekend. This is funny. We came into this weekend with Jesse K. Kidd and Milan Strakovic being 1 point separate. If that continues the way it does, it would be between Toshi and Garricus. So 2 entire different teams even. This is how much has changed so far. But let's see. I mean, the race is long. We'll see how this one turns out. As now Frog is attacking Snellisdotter. How will she behave? We've seen that the Rupko drivers are extremely aggressive against their opponents, especially when they're under pressure. So let's see how that one will turn out. So now he's going in the... Yeah, he's not using that gap. There we go. Now on the outside line. Will that work? And it does not. Oh, even going briefly just so in the gravel. Just so. So that didn't work out for Frog, who's trying to gather position from Snellisdotter. The Rupko really holding up that Voltek. Now on the outside. Oh! My God, that was close. Snellisdotter really going extremely aggressive. And they come together! Twig Frog now in the gravel as Snellisdotter was braking far too late. Far too late. Almost taking out Twig Frog here. What was she doing? It almost looked like, I don't know if she maybe got distracted or maybe locked up the brakes or something. I'm pretty sure the race stewards will have a look at that because that didn't look healthy there. My God, but everything is fine. No car damage on any of those. Yeah, it was a very, very late lunge indeed. I wonder what... Oh my God. I was worried now that they will come together and crash and there will be another safety car or something like that, because that would be so undeserved. Frog, who 2 times in a row had to retire from a race without being his own fault. So that is a thing indeed. As we are following right now, Armando Souza here. My God. And he's coming into the pits right now. There we go. He was the one to come up to Snellisdotter. I could imagine that the team was like, hey, you come into the pits because the next car on the list here is very aggressive. As we're having a... Oh, there we go. 5-second penalty indeed for Snellisdotter for that move earlier. The race stewards have decided there will be a 5-second penalty that either will be added to the total race time, or if she comes to the... Well, she still has to come to the pit. She's still on the very first tire set. So whenever she comes into the pits, she will have to stand there an extra 5 seconds, as we have Charles Danzig here battling against Toshi, what's wrong with me? Against Frock. But lost that battle, and Frock right now here, there we go, has to catch up again. He lost a lot of time due to that action by Snallisdottir. The chat applauses the race stewards for that decision. It was very aggressive indeed. I mean, we didn't get a replay so far. It's hard to tell, you know, like when the tires lock up or something, when the brakes lock up or something, it's still technically it's the responsibility of the driver. So in either case, no matter if it's the fault of Snallisdottir or not, it's her responsibility to make the car stop in time, and she didn't do that. As we are following Twig Frog, who's trying to catch up again. At least now she made the decision easy for Voltec. Who of the two drivers should be the one they should gamble on today for the race, because yeah. And now Frog is coming back again at oh my god. Frog again against Snallisdottir. How will she behave? I don't know if I want to watch this. I don't know if I want to commentate this either. The toes are my goodness, the toes are curling up watching this on the inside line now. Will this work? Very far line. She's coming around the outside. Outside line, but... And closing the door! Very aggressive. It was within the regulation. It was within the... Well, it was harsh. It was harsh. Frog had to step on the brakes to avoid a collision. I don't want to sit in that Baltic car. I don't want to know how frustrated he must be and how angry the American must be. Quite a good temper, we have to give him that, to actually step on the brakes and not having the BS that he gets thrown into. Just imagine the emotions that this guy has to go through right now. 2 races in a row, he had to retire, and what a move! Coming back at it again, and he has to absolutely lunge back at it. My goodness, we don't get a minute here to breathe and catch up. Like, this is absolutely insane. And now he's coming back at it very fast with the slipstream. Very well played by Frog, and now he's having the gap. My god, that was close. What is Snallisdottir is like an arrow. She's like a dart arrow to die by Robco here. One might question if maybe Robco ordered her even to maybe commit to such actions, because that was very close. They didn't come together, but it looked very close again. And thank you for the burritos in chat. There we go. My goodness, I'm a sweaty spaghetti all over after all these actions. So Frog now past Snallisdottir, finally. But imagine, sorry, we got sidetracked here. Imagine the emotions of Frog. First race, it was an engine malfunction while he was leading the race. Then in the second race, he was battling for the race lead and then gets taken out by a car that was going loose on the grass. He was absolutely not involved in there until that point, and then getting stuck on the my god, I cannot talk today anymore. This is too unnerving. I got so many grey hair just from watching this battle, as we have Danzig on the inside. Ping pong. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a back and forth for Key Lime Maple there. Back and forth between 2 cars there, but everything looking fine there. My god. Give me a breather. Give me a breather. So Hartley, Maple, and Shotash really battling here for that P4. Because Nali's daughter will still have to come to the pits most likely. From what we know. But those three are battling quite... Oh. Let's see, 3 cars wide into that 90-degree turn, and it works out well for Red Rocket. But Hartley really showing himself from a great side. He already did a very great performance back in Lombardia. He finished then in the end on P12. He lost a bit in the end, but he did a great performance overall as he comes through on the outside line. James Sarley for Mass Fusion. There we go. Very good move on the outside line through the Tarzan bocht. Now on P4. That's a lot of points on the board for Mass Fusion if they can carry that through. That'd be lovely to see them getting finally some points because the first 2 races didn't work out so well for them overall. And also Hartley had to retire in Texas, if you may remember, from an overheating engine. The Texan heat claimed its first victim there. As he's now down on P4. That's the only battle we can watch right now, really. So the field is very, very far apart from each other from all these actions we had earlier. As he now gets re-overtaken by Shotashvili. So that battle is keeping on going. But now, on the main straight out of this corner, let's see how much swing it can get. As we have, wait, was that? I think it was Snally started coming into the pits. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell properly. It was too small for me. Maybe you guys saw that. I could not tell who's in the pits right now. The data does not give me that information right now. As we now have side by side through those corners. Look at this, and they keep it clean. But it's not working. There we go. He has to draw back again. As Maple is commanding the pace here for them. But yeah, that's a nice battle to watch when you see a back marker finally towards the front here. They're doing a great job in that regard. And now 3 cars wide. Nope. Not gonna work. There we go. Keyline Maple smart enough to actually draw back and let them battle. And take the slipstream from it to then hopefully re-overtake. Through that very, very long bank turn now. Let's see how it will be. Mass Fusion against Nuke Prix against Red Rocket, and both of them go. Oh my god! What a close call there. They almost crashed. I don't know if you saw this, but that was just too close. But everything fine. They just so managed to avoid each other. I don't know how they did this. That is superhuman movements there. Superhuman lightning reactions between Shotashvili and Maple. My god. It's very hard here to not lose your final nerve when you watch this. I gotta say this is electrifying. As if a lightning would strike any minute. And we see the clouds coming back slowly. Let's see if we will get rain or if it will be like early in the race that it just is a few drops and nothing further. As we have this battle further going between Shotashvili, Maple and Hartley. Snellistad is still out. Who was in the... Oh, it was Souza who was in the pit lane. There we go. Now things make sense. And now on the outside line here, very easy. There you go. Hartley being back in the lead. And Maple trying to... yeah, no. Back and forth. There we go. Hartley has it. Hartley has it. But to remind you, chat, there's points given for every position as long as they make it through. Usually P20 would get 0 point and P19 1 single point as long as you get it through, but with 3 DNFs they'll get those cars there, they get no single point. So Pulnavus, who's right now in P17, also gets points. So there's always double points as long as they make it through. 90-degree turn, let's see. They keep it, it's fantastic. It's fantastic to watch when you have those cars battling, as Fujio Toshi is slowly crawling back up at this battle again. As we have no Shatashvili in the back there now on the outside. It's 3 cars wide. And Shatashvili has it. Very great overtaking maneuver. The list is not updating properly here, but that's okay. We see it live on the screen here. We also see a great performance by Renard right now, who has been underperforming the first 2 races. He's on P11, battling right now for P10, so that's a thing. As we are now in lap 50. There we go, that's Key Lime Maple trying to re-attack. We have 4 cars battling for P4. Snellestad is still up. Maybe Snellestad is actually going through here, which would mean that the 5-second penalty that she received earlier will be added at the end of the race for her. Really trying to grasp on that and hopefully not losing too many positions, because she was almost taking out the Voltec of Twig Frog, who's right now on P2 behind his teammate Apollo Garrikis, who's leading the race with quite a comfy gap. But Frog is catching up with 1 lap after another as we are watching this battle here between those. There we go. And with that, Maple is going back at it. There we go. They will change positions back and forth like that now, I guess, for, well, until the end of the race, most likely, if that continues. Very, very interesting battle here. Let's hope that Mass Fusion will get some points on the board today. There we go. Did I see this correctly, that they're catching up to Snellestad? Did I saw another car there, so I was just taking a sip from my drink. Yeah, it is Snellestad. They indeed do. That car that is in the front there, Snellestad on P3. All these cars could end up battling for P3. After all, if they manage to further catch up, because Snellestad is not having a good pace here. He's around 1 second behind the average here on old tires here. So that could be a podium battle. Oh, okay, everything fine. That could be a podium battle between both Red Rockets, Key Lime Maple, and James Hartley of Mass Fusion. Mass Fusion Automation could be battling for a podium. What a wonderful change there. Well, Voltec is leading the race with both cars with a very comfy gap. Also, that is quite different from what we've seen here upon. It might not be too interesting in the gap here, but it's interesting that Voltec has finally sorted out their issues and could maybe battle, therefore, for the championship again. Here we go. They are catching up further to Snellestad continuously. Also, Strakovic not having a good pace. He's down on P16. Very, very, very bad. Something must be wrong with the car of Robco. That is literally the only thing that I can think of. As now, we see Maple coming into the pits, and so does Key Lime Maple. James Hartley, there we go. Changing tires to the medium compound. Trying to, yeah, they could carry it through on mediums if it doesn't rain. And we had a butt cam there for Fujio Toshi being behind, the other way around, it's Shotashvili behind her teammate of Fujiotashi that way around. They are keeping it clean as they always have been so far. Those teammates are really, really good in harmony. They so far always kept it very clean when they were battling. He's defending though, it is a battle. But at least they are keeping it clean hereupon. Let's see if that will remain like that. I could imagine that one of them would go to the pits any moment. Just to avoid that, because we saw others going to the pit as well, so that could work out. No, they don't. There we go. They stay out on track. Oh my god, there's a lot of shuffling as they try to attack Snallisdottir, who's now on the inside line there, trying to recatch that position, and indeed she does on old hard tires. Really doing a fantastic job here in defending from the two attacking Red Rockets. Let's see how they will manage it, because Snallisdottir was very aggressive early against Voltec. Let's see if she learned her lesson from the penalty that she received from the race stewards. It's a 5-second penalty that she either has to stop with a that she either has to serve in the pit stop, or it will be at the end of the race. There we go. Now attacked by on the inside line, not working out. Nope. Toshi not getting it through. Yeah, she was closing the door badly there. He had to step on the brakes to avoid a collision. But other than that, everything fine. Let's see how it will be on the stride here. As there we go, now Shotashvili is coming into the pits knowing that this battle is just too tense. Rather go into the pits, change a new tires, get a better pace on the track then. A better lap time on the track than being stuck behind another car and therefore overtaking with a better lap time. I think that's the strategy of Shotashvili, as for Fujiotashi managed to get past Snallisdottir there, who's now down in P4. So now Fujiotashi is on P3, and therefore, just by the current standings, Fujiotashi would lead the championship by 1 single point from Apollo Garrikis. That's how the championship standings have turned around entirely. It was Jesse Kaikin versus Milan Strakovic by 1 point. Now if this one stays through, it will be Toshi against Garrikis by 1 single point. Absolutely fantastic. As we are watching Armando Souza here. And now the clouds are really, will we get... Guys, it's getting dark here. It's getting super dark here. Will we get now? My goodness, imagine we will get some rain right now. That could change the entire course of the race again. My goodness. It's not raining yet. We had it earlier as well that it became rather dark, but luckily it was only a very few drops, nothing major, no rain really. We barely were able to tell it that there were drops even, but my goodness. Snallisdottir trying to attack Toshi now to reclaim that podium there. And I feel like we see some drops raining from the skies right now. We indeed see some rain. Let's see how long they can stay on the dry compound tires before they have to change over. If that rain maintains. My god, what a Nuke Prix! Absolutely crazy. Snallisdottir tries to attack, but she's not having the pace there. Trying to suck closer with that slipstream there. It's not enough yet though. And there comes Armando Souza as well. He's now trying to attack, because I'm pretty sure that Crisis Kovega wants a podium too. They want a little sniffer there. Let's see. So Souza now attacking Snallisdottir. Let's see how this one will turn out as we now see some spray as well. It's wet, folks. It is wet. Nobody can tell me now it's not time for wet tires. Oh, well, intermediate tires at least. There we go. Voltec is coming into the pits with Apollo Garrikis, and they're having intermediate tires. It's raining now from the skies. We are having now a whole change here again, but Voltec was playing it very well here. They watched it closely. They're really coming in and changing onto the intermediate tires. There we go, there he is. Very well done by Voltec. They were watching it. There's also Twig Frog, the big gap they were having is playing nicely. Everyone coming into the pits right now for intermediate tires. It rains, folks, and now the entire race once again sees a major course of change in actions here. Absolutely insane. 2 safety cars and rain in the end here. You cannot make this up. My God. Oh. Armando Souza trying to attack Snellistotter now in the wet. Let's see how that one will turn out. Now we're gonna see who are the good drivers here, because driving in the wet is quite another challenge. It's very dangerous attacking in the wet. It's very dangerous driving in the wet. I'm pretty sure if you were trying to drive fast in the wet, you can tell. So now the lap times will drop a lot due to that, with less grip on the track there. The aquaplaning is real. As Armando Souza now, there we go, on the inside line. Will that work? And it works. There we go. Armando Souza reclaiming that position from Snellistotter, being up a place. As we have Enrico Soliora right now on P3, one of the Octas, battling for Giotoshi right now. Absolutely amazing to see one of the back markers right now, that far in the front. So that really is how the whole field changed. And now Snellistotter coming back at it. What a move! She actually managed to pull that in the wet. Amazing move without slipping away too far. Reclaiming that position from Amanda Souza here. Absolute fantastic. Oh my God, it comes together! You cannot make this up! Armando Souza crashing into the side pot of Snellistotter. It looked like he completely misjudged that situation. What is happening here today? My God. There we go, we see the replay. Going on the oh, that is unlucky. That is, my God, miscommunication basically. I'm drenched in sweat. I can tell you that, folks. While they are drenched in rain. And now Amanda Souza, let's see what the race stewards think of that. I'm very certain that this was absolutely unintentional. I mean, in the end, nothing happened. Nobody had any damage. I don't expect the race stewards to give a penalty for that. But it was, yeah, it was basically just very unlucky. I think that's what we can tell for sure. But this is a very intense battle here. As now, and there she goes. Snellistotter sliding wide on the curbs, opening that door. And Amanda Souza says thank you and goes through. That gives him up another position now. Amanda Souza going past that Robco. The team in green that underperforms badly today here. With Snellistotter losing now another position to Souza, who now is free to rage in the wet. Let's see how much he can do for Chryslers there. Because they are not too happy with their performance. They were quite vocal about it. That they want more than what they got. So far, only one podium for the team in Chrome. And I'm pretty sure they will do their best for the rest of the season to reclaim that. It's the third race of the season, and this is what it looks like. We see Macolino right now defending himself from Kelly. It's a battle for P7 here. Very good performance by Poseidon, but then Macolino really showed a great display in Texas already. And now finally one of the spring colts is getting some better positions in. As Voltec is still leading the race. Let's see if they finally can carry through with that. It would be the third time that we have a race where we have a different winner. Toshi on P3, Souza on P4. Slowly catching up to Toshi. Snarly started losing time continuously on Danzig. And now we have here the battle between Macolina and Kelly. Let's see how that one will turn out over time, because that will be interesting. Poseidon, who continuously had a bad performance in the qualifyings, were basically always planned last. Last rise in Lombardia, both had to retire after an engine failure for both of them. Let's see on the inside line in the wet. And it works for Macolino. There we go. I did not expect that one to work, but there we go. Carlos Macolino, very great performance. He showed himself very capable over in the Nuke Prix of Texas. And now in the wet, his glory shines bright as now Kelly is coming back at it again on the main stride with that slipstream, trying to close that door and keeping the lead there from him. But let's see how long they can carry that through. The pink sprinkled car with the donut wheels. We don't see them too often on the camera because so far they were basically under the radar, not doing much on the track. But finally we see some actions by them. And the Irish girl now really gives it all to get some good points on the board for the team in pink. But Macolino is on it. Now on the inside line to that 90-degree corner. How is it working? Because in the wet you will slip a little bit. And he makes it work again for the second lap in a row. You cannot make this up. Kelly not learning from how Macolina does that overtake there. And let's see if she can re-overtake on that main straight again. Being now in the slipstream. On the inside line she goes again. It's like we watched the lap before again, 1-1, having the lead. This is hilarious. It's like 1-1, the same lap like we had before between those two. It's marvelous. It's marvelous when they pull the same moves at the same part of the track. You don't see it often. Oh, there we go. Now Macolina trying something different. Oh, that's dangerous in the wet. Are you crazy, Macolina? Yeah, that's not working. Pull back. Pull back. We saw that already in dry conditions and were very impressed when drivers did that, but in the wet, you really have to be careful with that move. As Kelly is really defending with everything she's got. Let's see how that one will turn out. Now Macolina, almost crashing the red diffuser there. On the outside line there, we see yellow flags in the back. And he's pulling the same move again for the third time in a row. But this time Kelly is on it. There she goes. Now she got it. Now she got it. Let's see if he can re-overtake on the main straight and do what she did the 2 laps before. And he does on the inside line. Same stuff. Same old, but no, she's holding it. She's holding it. Look at this. Amazing defense by the Irish woman there. Defending it greatly. There was a bit of a slip there. We saw that. But she was holding it together. Great defense here. In that pink car. Nice to see something from the other teams for once. We were so focused on Nuka-Cola, Robco, Vortec, and Chryslers and Rad Rockets that we totally forgot that the other teams even exist. And here we go. Seeing some action there. This is, by the way, for those who may have missed, this is a battle for P7 right now. That's good points on the board for either of those two teams who have underperforming massively in the first two Nuke Prix. Now in the third race, they shine in glory. Especially after the two Arcjets out. One of the Nuka-Colas is out. Robco is having a bad performance. It seems like both cars are struggling. That opens up opportunities for teams like this. Alright, my god. Lap 65. Oh, close together. Oh, please don't spin. That was very slippery though. We saw that. Kalik was slipping a lot on the rear end of the car there. As she was trying to defend from Marcolina, who goes through now. There we go, trying to attack. Trying to stay in the slipstream, but it's sad. In the wet conditions, very hard to manage in those turns there. That makes it hard on this circuit to overtake when it's wet. And they actually are catching up to the front there, by the way. So both of them are doing actually a very good pace as well. As Danzig in the home Nuke Prix on P6 right now is losing time. And now on the outside line goes, on the inside line goes Kalik. Let's see. We saw a hand wave briefly by Marcolina. I think he was not happy that she pulled that move. I don't know why he was waving his hand. That was everything within the regulations. So, she also kept it very fair. Seems like Marcolina's patience is burning through. As through goes, there we go. We have Suliora who comes through here. They two are battling so badly that Enrico Suliora was managing to catch up and going through on that mine straight into that first corner there, folks. There he is, look at him. Going past both of them. They were so deeply invested in battling each other that Suliora could come unnoticed, even by ourselves there, and overtaking them with quite the speed. Amazing move by the Italian, who's now leading in front of them too on P7. Let's see how this one will turn out further. As we see Snallisdotter and Danzig battling each other. Now Marcolina's trying to get back at it again on the outside line there. Yeah, but has to draw back again. That didn't work. Pulls back. Stays behind. He will most likely try it then on the main strat again as we have the battle here. There we go. Danzig versus Snallisdotter. Let's see how that one will turn out. Danzig now on the inside line in the wet. Through that Tarzan block. Oh my god, that was not good. Oh my god, we saw that. That was a very unlucky one. He was moving over way too quickly. And with that, he closed the door for Snallisdotter, who had to really move out of the way, and hence missing the braking point due to that. Moving under braking by Danzig. That is not very nice to do. And so Snallisdotter was almost crashing into him, but she kind of avoided it. I don't know how she did that. Very great move by Snallisdotter to catch that car under that condition there. Because it's, oh my god, look at those puddles there as well. Oh my god, folks, please keep it clean. We don't want another crash here. But I think it's just getting too wet. I mean, look at those puddles, folks. I think it's almost time for wet tires here. Just the way how much it rains here. It pours down right now. The spray is getting thicker with every lap. I'm afraid that we may need wet tires with this conditions. We also saw some slight front wing damage there on the right hand side of that car for Danzig, who's now trying to overtake on the main straight in the slipstream on the inside line, and that seems to work. Closing the door. Danzig, learn it. And yeah, there you go. That's what you get for it when you close the door, when you move under braking. That's exactly what happens when you move under braking in wet conditions. That is just too dangerous. That is too dangerous. Snellesdotter most likely will have some bad credit today. Because she did that on purpose earlier, but this one was very evident that Suliora was just going too... Danzig was just going too aggressive here. Moving under braking in wet conditions. You can only shake it... What? Another 5 second... Okay, maybe we've not seen this correctly. It looked a lot like... Okay, then I have to draw back. The stewards will have the word on that. We would have to see a replay of that action, though. It looked from the angle that we were having here on the broadcast, it looked like Snellesdotter was actually trapped in that braking zone. As said, like, we saw that move by Danzig. I'm very surprised that Snellesdotter got a penalty for that. She served the 5 second penalty early in the pit lane that she got. Now she's getting another one. I don't know if the stewards are right with this, though. We would need an onboard replay from both of them to see more in detail what happened. I don't know if we will get the chance, as we are now on lap 69 out of 72. We're getting towards the end of the race here, as we see some intense battle here in the wet between Kehlich, oh my god, this is a tight one, Suliora and Marcolina, who are battling for P5 basically, and coming up closer to Snellesdotter. And I don't think that Snellesdotter will come into the pits unless we have to change on wet tires. And with that 5 second penalty, Snellesdotter will therefore end up behind that triple pack here, just by the standings there. So Robko will lose a lot of points with that, but it's it looked a lot like Danzig was just moving under braking and Snellesdotter then... I mean, it also could be that Snellesdotter could have caught it and then decided not to. That is another thing as well, that Snellesdotter just intentionally tried to attack there. That could... Oh, don't shuffle so much, folks, in the wet. My goodness. At least they kept it safe, but there was a lot of back and forth going on. And, oh my god. My energy is completely drained, folks. It's very hard to keep attention here from how much is happening here today. And now Marcolina in the wet trying to attack the... Yeah, don't do that. There you go. Please keep it safe. Don't risk too much when you have such a good position for the team. P7 is a lot of points there. P7 would grant them a total of 16 points. That's good enough. Those 2 points you could gain from overtaking will not change the entire course for you there. I don't know if that's really worth it. Rather keep it clean. No, he goes again. There we go. On the inside line. Let's see. Not enough. Or is it? Or is it? Or is it? And it is, but it's not over yet. Marcolina pulling away. There we go. He actually does it. Great move by the Brazilian. And you see how thick the spray is right behind them. You don't want to be trapped behind those 3 cars there. And now, oh, intense battle. Intense battle here. They all want to have that position. They all really go for it, as we are in almost the final lap here. They are battling a bit too aggressively for my personal taste here in the wet, but they are somehow managing to keep it clean, which is absolutely amazing to watch. As we will go now to the lead here. There we go. This is the leader of the race right now, who is now lapped Hulnevuz and Strakovic. So those are 1 lap behind. That is your race leader, Apollo Garrikis, who will then have a total of 73 points. And if this one goes through, he will be second in the championship, just 1 point behind Fujio Toshi. Therefore, this will change the entire course of the current championship standings, folks. The entire championship standings are threatened to be overthrown here and be between Voltec and Red Rocket. He's going now into the final sector. And it looks as if Apollo Garrikis will win this Nuke Prix of Holland. It is time to really end this Nuke Prix because it's getting wetter and wetter and wetter, and so do we from all that sweat, let me tell you folks. Because it's 2 intense battles. Let's hope we will have not too much rain in Florida because the Hurricane Watch is promising that. And there we go, on the main straight. And Apollo Garrikis is winning the Nuke Prix of Holland. The first one for Voltec. Absolutely amazing. Finally, Voltec can make it work. And with that, big congratulations to the team for a double win, as Twig Frog is now crossing the line in P2 as well. Absolutely amazing. And Fujio Toshi goes through to P3. Now Fujio Toshi is leading the championship standings with 74 points in total. 1 point ahead of the race victor of Garrikis. Amanda Souza coming through in P4. Amazing performance by Crisis Kovega as well. Almost getting a podium here. With 13 seconds in the lead, Apollo Garrikis wins the Nuke Prix. And now Suliora gets P5 from Macolina. Kelly on P7, Danzig on P8. Snell is started rescuing down to P9. As the rest is going through very close together there. This is your total race result here, folks. My God. You could think I was outside in the rain, but that's just all sweat. There we have it, folks. Double victory for Voltec. A double podium with P1 and P2. Fujio Toshi on P3. The aggressive strategies really prevailed here today. Okay, that was weird. Sorry about the black screen. There we go. And that is your race victor. Apollo Garrikis wins the Nuke Prix of Holland. Absolutely fantastic for Voltec. They were battling a lot. They were having a lot of bad luck the first 2 races, and here we go. A total race time of 1 hour and 34 minutes. And that is your final result of the race, as we will have the podium celebrations shortly.